Good evening, Ajay sir. Good evening, Neha Jain ma'am, and good evening, all my respected colleagues who have joined in from different parts of the country.
Sir, sir, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good
Welcome,
sir.
Java, sir.
evening. Good evening.
Neha ma'am, please start the session.
Yes, sir. So, all esteemed members of Team RFI, our distinguished guest speaker and participants, a warm evening welcome to each of you joining us today for a profound exploration to the efficacy of the group study method in enhancing the art of teaching. I'm Neha Jain, honored to serve as the program coordinator for the International Faculty Development Program and the training program on innovative teaching and learning pedagogy. It is with great privilege that we extend a warm welcome to the most proficient, diligent, and strategic Dr. Shresth Chabra sir, our esteemed guest speaker of the program. Welcome, sir. Together we embark
Thank you, Neha ma'am.
Together we embark on this educational journey made possible through the collaborative efforts of Research Foundation of India and RFI-CARE, along with the generous sponsorship of Eklavya University, JHERF, ARGA, and Edu Academic Inc. Before we delve into discussions, let me shed light on the commendable endeavors undertaken by the Research Foundation of India, dedicated to the upliftment of society and the enhancement of education standards. RFI channels its efforts into promoting Indian research through a myriad of events, including international and national conferences, seminars, workshops, symposiums, and various other activities. RFI serves as a catalyst for the integration of intellectual ideas globally, striving to satiate humanity's thirst for innovation. At its core, RFI is deeply committed to enhancing the educational process by fostering scholarly inquiry and facilitating the practical applications of research outcomes. Furthermore, RFI spearheads research and development initiatives in higher education, forging strategic partnerships through Memorandum of Understanding with leading universities across India. Its membership comprises faculty researchers, graduate students, and distinguished professionals, all contributing their rich and diverse expertise to the field of educational research. It's noteworthy that RFI operates autonomously of governmental sponsorship, ensuring its autonomy and integrity in organizing over 1,000 international conferences, workshops, FDPs, symposia, and more worldwide. Currently, RFI proudly counts 87 chapters in India and 18 chapters spread across Asia and beyond, structured into 5 separate boards that represent the West, East, South, North, and Central regions. Now, allow me to introduce our esteemed expert, Dr. Shresth Chabra sir, a leading figure in the field of education. With over 2 decades of teaching experience, he brings a wealth of knowledge and insight to the table. His academic journey, crowned with a PhD in labor welfare, speaks volumes about his dedication to scholarship and research. Currently serving as an associate professor at Delhi College Business School in Indore, his contributions extend far beyond the confines of academia. As a prolific author, and reviewer, his work resonates across national and international platforms, shaping discourse and driving meaningful change. His affiliations with esteemed journals and editorial boards underscore his unwavering commitment to excellence. Moreover, his role as a mentor and coordinator reflects his passion for nurturing entrepreneurship and fostering academic growth. In addition to his scholarly pursuits, his involvement in various professional associations and his stellar record as a session chair and facilitator further attest to his exemplary leadership and expertise. His impact extends beyond the classroom, earning recognition from prestigious institutions and organizations alike, including the Rotary Club, Amity Business School, and EMG SSM Trust. In essence, he personifies the spirit of innovation and excellence, inspiring generations of educators and learners alike. As we embark on this enlightening journey, guided by his wisdom and expertise, let us embrace the transformative power of the case study method, its profound implications for pedagogy and beyond. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neha ma'am. Thank you for your kind words. First of all, a very good evening to all the respected participants who have joined us from different parts of the country today. So I extend everyone, a warm welcome on my behalf and behalf of RFI as well. Good evening, Ajay Jain sir, and good evening, Neha ma'am. She has been wonderful in conducting this, when coordinating the sessions.
Thank you
So
so much, sir.
uh, it's great, ma'am. I believe all of my colleagues who are listening to me today evening, uh, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you, because you all have been, including me, have been working for the entire day. Some I can see that they are just getting back from the work, they're heading back from their work, and they're on their, mobile logged in, and they're getting on to that thing. So, it's really good uh, gesture of every one of you that despite of a long day of work, we all are, meeting today evening to talk about the first idea of the FDP, that as to how case studies can help us, in or how case study as a part of pedagogy can help us on doing that. Now, I'm pretty sure that that all whom I'm dealing with, or whom I'm talking to you as of now, are my colleagues of from the teaching idea. Yes, you all are teachers whom I'm talking to. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, great, great. And I'm pretty sure that one idea is that you all are teachers, and second idea is that I believe some of, not all would be from management side, some would be from engineering, some would be from social science side, humanities, and varied field. Okay, so we would have a very, beautiful diverse group which is listening to me as of now. Third, what I would be talking to you, I wouldn't be talking any theories to you as to, how to handle a case study or what are things. No, you might have, all with respect to all my colleagues who are present over here. Uh, all of you at some point of time might have dealt with one or the other case. Okay, so then what I would be doing with you is very simple thing. I would be sharing my experiences of handling the cases, and as Neha ma'am said, I'm also a reviewer with some of the case journals. So my experiences with them, and towards the end of the session, I would be talking one idea to you as to how to, maybe some of you may be wanting to write a case study. So I would be, not essentially, this may not be the agenda. So I would be, just going through a quick overview of it as to how you would be doing it. Now, before I proceed ahead, my screen is visible to everyone, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am. And I won't be putting it on a full screen, because obviously technology is an empowering thing, but technology is also a debarring thing. There are some issues which have always been faced on that thing. So I believe this would be visible to everyone, and I don't mind sharing this also. Okay, I've just collected from different sources or my own experiences put together, and I've put it in on a PPT format. So this is what I would be largely talking to you for the day, as I told you. So let's start on this thing. So, especially in field of management, in other fields of ideas, our point is that we want to, give a practical approach, or we want to give some practical inputs to our students in one or the other way. Okay, maybe through field research, maybe through, field visits or lab sessions, or as I said, I have a diverse group over here. So we want to give them, or we want to make them have a practical, feel of the subject that we are teaching. So usually in common, in social sciences, one of the common ideas of doing this is to deliver a case study. And why only social sciences? That can be done in law, engineering, many fields of law studies. So essentially, case studies are meant to create that simulation, that feel of being in real world, making the students sit on that chair where actually one has to decide over this thing, that how um, you practically get on to this idea that if you have been sitting in this place, if you have been put in his or her shoes, what would you decide? Okay, though we understand that in real life the challenges would be different, the variables are much known to us. Case studies would have a limitation of variables. Case studies do have a limitation of uh, many ideas, that they are not though they are trying to be real life, but they are static in nature. They say they present to you certain data. After that, the data might have changed. Data changes every day. So every day would be a new situation when you are off late dealing in. But we want that student should be given net practice, okay, before they are actually on to the pitch and batting or fielding. They should be given a net practice as to what possible situations that can arise given my subject or my topics of subjects. So that's where essentially case studies are meant for, or case studies should be used for. Essentially, this is what I keep telling to everyone: the most critical idea in life is to take a decision. Okay, and not to take a decision is also a decision. You are trying to postpone a decision, that is also a decision. Okay, if you want to wait and watch, as I told you, that's also a decision. So eventually everything is on a cost. Okay, what we say, no lunches are free. So we don't have that luxury in life always of time. So we need to please remember this idea that luxury of time is not always available to all decision makers. That okay, we can take a decision tomorrow. Okay, so I would and would connect this point when I talk about dealing with case study. So essentially, case studies are meant to essentially see. I look at case studies from two ideas. One, the content idea. That means, say, if I'm talking marketing, I'm talking finance, HR, or any other subject. So that would be a content part. Others is the idea that all assignments. This is what I strongly believe, I strongly feel, and I strongly do. All assignments should have what I should say behavioral implication to the students. In the sense, I would come on to that idea as to what this behavioral, how I can, how do I relate it to the behavioral side. So please remember these 2 points. When with the flow, I would, clarify both this point, or we would revisit these points. Okay. So should you have any doubts, or if you want to share anything, I would be asking you questions. Okay, it won't be a one-way communication. I would be asking you questions. So if you want to communicate, if to speak up, please, there is a hand raise thing which is available. So please use this. Once you have spoken, please do lower your hand. So that way it would become quite easy for all of us. Okay. So on your screen are the different types of case studies, and I'm pretty sure that almost uh, all of you might have dealt with one or the other case. Yes, a hands up would
Yes.
denote yes. Or if you want to say speak up, please go ahead and speak. Okay. So I believe almost all things have been done. Almost all case studies have been done. Great, great, great. So great. So there are people who have actually tried it their own way. So absolutely brilliant. Small cases. Let me narrate a case to you. Let me give you a quick case. Narrate a quick case to you. Okay. So thank you for that hand raise. Thank you very much for all the replies. Okay, great. Thank you. So let me narrate a very quick small case to you, and then I take on to the next point. That say that, for example, there was this person. Okay, name it any person. Okay, how does it matter? And he was, a visiting faculty with some institution, and he was told this thing that if you graduate from a certain school, or if you graduate yourself, then there are bright chances that you can become a full-time professor. Okay. So owing to that pressing need, what he said, he lied in his resume that he has graduated, whereas actually he hasn't. Okay. So he was taken up based on his claim, he was taken up as a full-time professor. Actually, he was a very good teacher of the subject, and he progressed to the extent that he was, nominated as a vice chancellor. On being nominated as vice chancellor, there was a committee set up to, look into the credentials that he has, from this post of being a vice chancellor. Okay, got the case? Now, the case question, only one question. If you would have been the head of this committee, okay, who has to decide that what is to be done with this professor, what would you decide, and what would be your consideration of decision points? Okay. So I hope my case is clear to you. Yes? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, and I believe that, if we had time and we could have opened up a case discussion on that thing, there would have been different ideas as to flow of different ideas as to what one should consider, what one should not consider, and much more things. That's what I'm saying. That even a case, even a paragraph can create enough discussion, enough decision points for students to understand that what all it should be considered into it. Okay. Success or failure stories you can talk about, but personally I believe that I use more of failure stories than success stories to tell students that as to how people learn more from failures rather than success teaching anything. So try and or create, maybe if you're teaching a course like entrepreneurship or any other course like this, so try and teach them those, if I pick up 10 case studies, I would make sure that 7 are failure stories and only 3 are success stories. Okay. So that's how, if we do it, then things would be differential.
Sir, what
Functional
is the
areas.
difference between case and caselets?
Sorry.
Difference between case and caselets.
Sachin sir, I'm really sorry. Your voice is breaking.
So should I write?
If I understand you are asking me difference between case and caselets. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, case is primarily defined. The case and caselet primary difference is about the length that it goes around. So if it has got a smaller length, maybe a paragraph or two, that would be a caselet. If it would run across at least a page or even more than that, then that makes it a case. So it's primarily the difference of the length, nothing more. Have I answered your question, Sachin sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So then you can pick up very functional area specific cases wherein you can find out that say the area that we are talking about, marketing, finance, HR, any specific area in engineering, any specific area in other social sciences, or any other field of work that you are teaching. So any other functional specific case you can pick up, or you can pick up a multifunctional area, okay, or comprehensive cases which touches upon or which involves different departments, say production, marketing, HR, maybe production, finance, or production and finance, something like that. Okay, so you can pick up a very comprehensive. We use in management, we use such cases in strategic management. Okay, there can be written cases, so basically we generally use them, or there can be video cases. Has anyone tried video cases? Has anyone tried video cases? Not yet. Okay. Okay. So, Karishma ma'am, can you please elaborate on your experience with us? If I'm audible to you, Karishma Vincent ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, Karishma ma'am, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Yes, so
Good
I
evening.
can
Good
share
evening,
my
ma'am.
experience, sir. So
Yes.
basically, I teach international relations. I'm from Chennai. So usually, most of our topics are related to international events or treaties and wars that we teach. So visual
Great.
representations are very, useful, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how we can get the attention of students. So usually, I use these educational videos to
Mm-hmm.
explain a certain historic event, sir. So, for example, if we have to look into the Israel and the Palestine crisis, the
Mm.
genesis of
True.
how
True.
the partition happened and what was the history
Yes.
behind it, and from where that was actually one very important topic where I use several
Yes.
videos, because that is one war which cannot be explained in a single video. There are so many topics and agreements which is attached to that particular war. So I was little particular not to overwhelm the students with multiple videos as well, so that they don't just focus on the
Actually, yes.
the visual part of it. They should also focus on the takeaway. But I did use for that one topic.
Okay, great, great. Only one way of cautioning you. There are many so-called documentaries available on YouTube, and there are multi resources where you can get those documentaries. Okay, even some colleges, even say for that matter, our college also has got a library, of such type of documentary videos. Okay,
Okay.
especially that we use certain cases to talk about various practices in management. So at times the only point of caution is that please, as Vincent ma'am said it rightly, don't overuse them. Point number one. Point number two, don't use very elongated type of things. Okay, I'm sorry to
Correct.
say this. In one of the
Mhm.
college, I found that there are 40-45 minutes of video, and then the students are given a worksheet type of thing. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
that
Mhm.
after seeing this video, you need to actually answer the questions from the worksheet. Okay,
Okay.
so some of them were direct questions, like say, where does this
Mhm.
incident happen, something like that, and then some of them would require some amount of analysis or reflection. Okay, that
Okay.
idea of worksheet is commendable. The idea of worksheet,
Mhm.
using that worksheet, is good, but I believe that, as I told you, students won't have that span of attention for 45 minutes to watch a video. Okay, so that is something that you can actually look at. Okay, that if you are using such a long video, that would become actually boring to the student.
Yes.
So the net evaluation or the net result that you want to actually have from them would not be that great. That is point
Achieve.
number one
Correct. Mhm.
when you are using a video. Point number two is that movies are a great video. Movies can be a great video case for you. Okay,
Mhm.
you can use various maybe cliplets, okay, or clips from the movies to explain your idea. Okay,
Mhm.
as to how certain things happen, certain management things go right, certain things don't go right, and things like that. Okay, but that's what the point is all about. That use a video case wherein you find that actually this thing would be like, I give you one example. wherein I have used, one, I give you an example that, say, for example, Lagan. Okay. So Lagan has got many essence, or if you pick up any game-based movie, or if you pick up any war-based, army-based movie, leaderships can be, explained to them through various ideas. I give you another example that I have used in the class also. If you remember, if you can find that video, I believe that was broadcasted on Star Plus, uh, of India playing for the 2020 World Cup for the first time. Okay, so there are many finer points that were explained in those video. Okay, in that video, as to what, what was the level of preparation, how did we fared well, and why did we won, and many things go around. So that, how teamwork actually happens. So what see, you have to try and pick up one or two issues from the cases. Don't try to, use every case, every other case for every other thing. Okay, you are using the case for leadership, for motivation, for team building, for n number of things. So, there cannot be, every scene cannot have a motivation lesson, or every scene cannot have a other lesson. So please be very specific whether you are using any type of case, written, video, any type of case, as to the subject, one. And second, most important thing, what is the, what is in which area you would like that case, or you would like the students actually to look onto that case. So use video cases as and when they are permitted. Okay. Uh, I give another example, like, say, as I told you, one, I told you the documentaries which are available. Two, as I told you, the movies, you can click up few clips from the movies. Third, as I told you, that, you can pick up various other videos which are available, which are not essentially a docudrama. Okay, those are docudramas. Those are not essentially documentaries. Those are docudramas that you can pick up from them, and then you can explain with the help of such docudramas as to what was done. Okay. Uh, the fourth idea in the video case is that, you can actually, if you're talking about, say, marketing, any subjects like marketing, or many subjects in marketing, you can pick up ads to explain your point, or you can pick up many things. But, please don't use all interviews, okay, that you're showing to the class, interviews which are running across, say, half an hour or this and that. But yes, like I give you another example when I talk about interviews. This example, I use many times when I explain strategy to people. Okay, competitive strategy to the people. There is one video of Sachin Tendulkar, of BMW Melbourne, I believe, if I remember it quite right. Okay, you can find it on YouTube. It's 2.5 minutes, or maybe extending 3 minutes. That he is explaining that as to how, he and Rahul Dravid, when they were batting up, so, they used their own strategy to defend the Australian bowlers. So that's what I'm saying. So you can use those ideas. You can use, from various walks of life. Not essentially that if I come from management, I cannot use a sports video, say, for example. So you can use example from different walks of life and connect back to one idea. So that would, give a different look. You can have this part one, part two type of things. I would now move a bit fast. You can have a problem solution type of things. You can have a problem, placed in part one. Okay, and you can have a problem placed in part one, and then solution placed in part two. Okay, so how to use it? Give the part one first. Some of the cases you would find that they are actually available as part one, part two. So some of the cases you can give them part one first, and then you can, give them the part two of it. That, once they have discussed, then give them the solution as to what, exactly they have done. I've used a slightly different idea also with cases. So what I do with them is that, say, if I am teaching entrepreneurship, what I do with them is that, I pick up a first-hand problem from some entrepreneur, maybe some startup, and then I give it to them, the students, that, okay, see, this is the business, this is the idea. I make a PPT out of it. Okay, uh, I put up certain, certain maybe documents or certain things which are available in public, okay, public domain of that business. It's up to the choice of the entrepreneur that whether they want it to be discussed in their name, or they want certain A company has done this type of things. So I put up that as a case. The case is discussed. I pick up solutions from the students, go back to the entrepreneur, tell him the solutions, implement, see that if he's implementing some of the solution, I take a feedback, come back to the class, say, tell them that okay, this was implemented by this, startup. So, and what was the net result out of it? Not all strategies would be implemented then and there times. So that's what I'm saying, that at times, it happens that you actually have, give me a minute, please. Give me a minute. Okay, so, sorry. So, at times it does happens that, that situations would allow you such type of cases. The third thing I tell you, at times what we have done is that we were discussing a problem of a startup, and the person who has actually made a startup is also sitting in the class. Okay, since you have got a young class, say if you're teaching a postgraduate class, so, young people who are young entrepreneurs, they are hardly distinguishable types. Or you can ask them that if you can, if you can wear simple clothes and come, so that I can introduce to them that this is one just, new boy who has come and sit in there. So he would listen to the problems or to the solutions firsthand, and then he would actually, interact with the students. So that's what I'm saying, that you can have a different idea of this problem solution type of things, or we can have a different, altogether differential idea of case studies when it comes to dealing or handling with the things. You can obviously mix a case with a role play, so that also can happen actually. Okay, so I've already covered this idea of this thing. Only one point I would like to highlight, with all due respect to my all the colleagues over here. I'm not, please don't take it personal, but it's sometime some colleagues use case as a replacement. Okay, replacement to a lecture. You're not prepared, you are just in a hurry, you just dropped in, you are, you don't know what to tell to the students, so you distribute a case. Okay, discuss the case, get over with 1 hour of your classroom and just go back. See, students who are sitting across, with every generation, intelligence has actually increased, and this is a research. They understand, they can make through that, that you are just passing time with them, nothing more. So please, my request to you that please don't use case as a replacement. Inbuild the cases into your, maybe a lesson plan. Even if they are no one is asking you, maybe, you may not have a lesson plans type of situation at your college or at your institution, doesn't matter. You pick up these cases, like say, okay, this case I would be using after this topic, this case I would be using at this topic. So at least, you would have those cases coming up. Or I have to say, I have to teach. At times I do understand that you may not get, you may not have that luxury of preparation. I do agree, we are all are burdened with so many of works. So, but at least, you can plan a topic, or at least a unit. Okay, even if not a topic, at least a unit. Okay, in this unit I would be keep picking up this case study. Always look out for a newer cases, talking about some old cases. At some point of time, technology has actually swapped up. If I give you a case of how, BSNL was, say, trying to establish itself into landline phones, and that case dates back to, I'm talking about an 80s market. What is the relevance of the case? I don't know. Okay, even if I want to teach the history of business, that doesn't matter. Okay, who actually remembers what BSNL did in 1980s? How does it matter in 2024 for you? If you're trying to link it from, 80s till 24, that's a different issue altogether. So in almost in all good cases, you have got a company background. Okay, so that should suffice. Cut down on the cases. As I told you, length is a severe issue. Cut down on all the case, text on all the exhibits which you find that they may not be very relevant. Because I tell you, sometimes the perceptual length of the case is fairly important than the case itself. People would look into the case, sorry, to itna bada case, this case is so long, this is, running across pages, so half of their motivations would be gone. In such cases, even in such cases also, I would, this I have done two things with such cases. One, as I told you, I cut short. I cut, I trim those cases so that the student focus on the main idea. Okay. Second, I give it in a group. Okay, and I make sure that groups are so formed that at least so-called, some dedicated people are there in the group. So at least one or two would come there. The third thing, maybe give someone who from the class that okay, you might have come prepared with the case. Give a brief summary of the case. So even if you are not, if you are not come prepared, you have no idea of the case. At least you can grab some idea. Okay. See, we have our own teaching troubles. Okay. If people got it teaching troubles, but I call it teaching troubles. So we have got our own, hazards of being a teacher. So we need to find a way out in one or the other way. These have been my ways. And the fourth thing I told you, every time you may not have the luxury of time in life. So in order to teach or in order to inbuild that idea into students that at times you may not have that luxury of time in the life, please make them understand that at times give them a surprise case then and there in the class, that this is the case for the day. Okay, read this case, maybe running across one page. Okay, and they would ask you for extra time and things like that, but make sure that all the discussion happens within that 1 hour stretch. Okay, because at times it would happen that when you are sitting at a customer's place, the customer would give you the profile then and there itself. You have to read it and then you have to present it. Okay, so at times you have to negotiate you have to frame the entire negotiation within those maybe a quick span of time of 5, 10, 15 minutes. At times does it happens in life. Okay, so we are given finer points and the director tells us that okay, go and discuss this. Okay, so so many a times you are in a fix. Okay, because life does not give you that that favor of time. So teach them that idea also, as I told you in the beginning, if you remember that. Okay, that at times teach them that behavioral part also. So probably they would remember that. So I believe that I have given you a fair enough idea as to what should be the length of case, the case time preparation, instructor role of at times the student may be exhausted and they would simply say, sir, you tell us the outcome of the case. If you would have been in our place, some are smart, they would say that if you would have been in our place, what would you have done? Okay, so don't be the first one to answer that. Okay, because then that limits the thinking of. At times I find that at times while we are dealing with the variables, or we are trying to direct the students, we are actually trying to limit their innovative ideas. Okay, you never know, they might have altogether a new brain and they might altogether come up with a differential idea. Okay, that jugaad. So don't underestimate. Okay, they are very fine onto that idea. They know how to deal with and do situations. The last but one slide for the day, because 6:50 already. What can be the sources of cases? Any other sources you can pick up. Okay, especially there are some books, but only problem is that they carry older cases because their editions may be older. There are specific cases, book-based cases. If not, then please pick up a educator account on Harvard Business School. It's almost free for everyone. All educators can be benefited out of it. They have got a wide variety of subjects. Okay, so you can make up a educator account at Harvard Business School. That is free, as I told you. The only requirement is that you need to have a website of your institution wherein you appear as a teacher. Okay, as an instructor. So that is must. There are Indian cases also. Some of them are paid. For say, for example, ICMR would offer you some cases which are free, but rest all are paid.
Sir,
Then there is
ICMR full form?
sorry.
ICMR full form?
ICMR full form, sir. I believe that is ICFI, Management Case Center.
Okay, sir.
So then there is, so you can sign up for free, newsletters from various Universities say Wharton Knowledge at Rate. The Wharton, that's a newsletter that would drop in at your from Wharton Business School almost every, I believe, weekly. You can actually go and visit them. It carries beautiful stories not only onto the Western market but also onto Indian markets. Okay, so many foreign universities have got specifically a chair, an Indian chair with them. So they deal with Indian, or they deal with some Indian ideas or in business. Okay, so you can find with many good B schools, foreign B schools also. I believe, if I'm not wrong, Kellogg's has one. Okay, no, ICMR for that matter is not Indian Council for Medical Research, ma'am. As of now, but I'm not using ICMR in that context, ma'am. Sorry, I'm using it. If you type it, it would be this ICFI management case research based type things. Okay, so eGyan Kosh, our own research gate. As I told you, many universities are there, or why not? I would end up with this last idea that why not you try and develop your own case studies. Okay, and that is what I connect to with you. The last idea. Okay, I won't be detailing much into it, but I want to give it a brief idea to you as to why don't you write your own cases. Okay, or say there would be many say how should I put it? There should be many publishers that you can avail this facility, that you can, it's one or two people from different backgrounds. You can actually become editor and collect, say, at least 10 cases. Okay, throw it open into your groups. You can collect at least 10 cases uh, and get it published by some one or the other publisher. There are many publishers who are offering a very good deal on such publications. So why don't you come up with your own case collection books, okay? And don't go for a lengthy cases. Prescribe them that okay, 3 page is the maximum length. So you can have, you can always. So that is idea number one. Idea number two is that, like, if you want to author a case, okay, to start with, what you can do is that you can have your own experience with any field of management or with any field of that thing. You can put in your own experience. The only precaution, and only my word of caution with due respect, is that don't try to plunge in your own biasness. You may feel that I left the job because the director was not good, the HR was not good, the salary was not good. No, please look it from your, you're trying to build up an image in front of a young mind that people are not good around. That is not always the case. That may be your case of perception. That's the reason I'm requesting that if you are narrating your own experience, keep your biasness aside. Okay, tell them precisely what has happened. Let them decide. Okay, and tell them the entire narration of the story. Okay, not your side of the picture, because we always say that there is always two sides of the picture and then the truth. So in narrating own experiences, please remember this. Some industries you have to actually dig into them, and they would allow you writing cases fairly. Yes. Okay, through your placement department, or through your even your ex students can, your alumni can help you, or even if you approach some industry uh, saying that I want to write about, I read a news about good news coming about you, say that you have got say an award as a best employer award. So I want to understand from you that what makes you a best employer. Okay, I want to write about it. So that's what I'm saying, that you can use both the data, and based on that thing, filter your information. There would be, as I told you, that they have got an award, so that can be used as a basis, and then you built it from there. So there are n number of cases available in all fields wherein you can use, and you can actually look it out from a various ideas. You can get those things published. And if you are wanting to get those things published, I would strongly suggest you that three things. Keep in mind three things. One, the format of the case journals that you are looking at or aiming at to publish. Okay, because that is the type of information that you would need from the company if you are getting the first hand information. Two, get that consent from the company, written consent, either in the form of email or this thing, that how would they want it to be like? They want it to be published, say, for that matter, they want it to be published in their name, or you have to use anonymous things. Even you are using it anonymous type of thing, some journals may ask you that what is the real name. Okay, you cannot just publish in any journal saying that there is a company A. Okay, so which is a big bank. Okay? So they may not agree. They under their confidentiality clause, you have to declare that okay, the company does not want to use it in their name, so the company is this, and it is alias or it is masked as A. Okay, something like that. So some good journals may want you to do that. Even if they don't want you to do that, get a explicit permission, no implied permission, no verbal permissions. Please get it an explicit permission, because that data would go in people. Okay. And third, put up a disclaimer. Before you actually get it published, send it to the concerned person or concerned department to get a formal approval that okay, this is fine with them. They're okay with this getting published. Okay, and tell them that once it is published, it would be available in public domain. Okay, so are they okay with it? Specifically, failures won't be welcomed. Please understand this. If you are picking up any case on controversial issues, then that won't be welcomed. Okay, so if you are trying to praise a company, or if you are trying to do a good thing about the company, you can always say that there are secondary sources. So which is already say the news is already there in the public domain, so you can obviously use a secondary source to write the entire case. Okay, you may not need a first-hand interview or data. You can use entirely a second-hand published information available in respected public domains, and you can use it extensively. Okay, so you find that on ICFAI's website that they would be using that. They use all those secondary sources. You don't have to even go to a company. Okay, and reference it properly. Put all references which are available, so that tomorrow no one can challenge, or nothing happens to you. You can check into that. Say, I'm not saying this. Times of India said this. Say, for example, that matter. Times is just one name. Okay, so that is information is available on public domain. So that in that thing you would always be safe. So I believe you remember. I repeat. Remember three things. One, take an explicit permission. Two, be very focused on that thing as to why you are wanting to write a case. Okay, if you are using a primary data, pick up a format. They would also need a teaching note from you if you want to publish it in any good journal. So you have to make it very clear under which class, for which class, which subject, which topic this case can be used. Okay, so as precise as this. So use either a primary and secondary, or a combination of this data based on as to what type of information you are getting available to. Okay, so thank you very much for your patience listening. If you have got any questions, I don't want to to extend this session for you. If you have got any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So should we get this PPT, because during the session so many several calls will be on that same phone?
Okay, sure. I would make sure that you get this PPT.
Thank you so much, sir, and you have explained very well.
Thank you, Vivek sir. Thank you for the kind words.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Neha ma'am, so I believe that I don't see any questions coming up. So shall we close this session? My heartfelt thanks to RFI.
Thank you, sir.
All my respected colleagues who have joined in from different parts of, and it's already an evening. So I wish you all a very good evening and have a great time ahead with your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir. It was
Thank
great.
you, everyone. Thank you.
We learned a lot of things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Thank you for
Thank you,
all
sir.
your words. Thank you. Sure, Vivek sir, PPT would be there.